Today, I want to tell you a story. Hopefully, it may not seem like your typical bedtime story or a tall tale or anything like that. I want to tell you a true story. A story that may make me the greatest YouTube storyteller of all time. We'll see. This story is called The Day the Hero Drowned. It was a late afternoon on a sunny day, and a gentle breeze caressed the young boy's face as he stepped out of his parents' home. He decided to take his afternoon stroll, and he had become fed up with being in the house all day. He figured he could ponder the possibilities of his child mindset while on the go. There was a decently sized pond that was about 100 yards slightly downhill from his parents' front door. His family didn't own it, but they knew the neighbors whom did. The boy fished there plenty and knew the pond better than the neighbors, since he had been a resident before they had moved in a few years prior. As the boy walked across the yard, he could hear the birds singing, fish swirling, his feet dragging, and the kind breeze shaking the leaves. He fancied picking up a few rocks and tossing them into the water just for fun. He played his usual game of taking 2 rocks, tossing one out far, and waiting a second or two and trying to see if he could put the second rock in the ripple of the first. The boy was a playful expert at his little accuracy game. Each time he got close to the water, the fish at the bank's edge would dart to deeper water from his gentle curiosity of wanting to get a closer look. He started to work his way counterclockwise around the pond's edge, stopping from time to time to admire the large and small bass that were either unaware or careless of his reflection. These bass displayed a distinct color difference from the water's clarity. Typically, he'd be fishing at this hour, but he didn't feel the fisherman's itch to do so. He walked past the tree-shaded portion of the pond and went around the shelf and jumped over the outlet creek that was there in case the water table got too high. He reached the side where there was a tree in the water, and there he always caught shell crackers, which are the strongest of most brim. He stomped forward to see if he could scare anything, and a big swirl dashed out from the submerged base of the tree. It was a large bass from what he could tell. Nonetheless, he kept walking. The passing minutes seemed to calm the breeze to nothing, and the water became still and smooth on its surface, so much so the pond seemed to relax at the presence of the boy. He had arrived at the spot he usually didn't fish, where another tree was in the water. It was there he heard the baby birds chirping at their mother, and their mother regurgitating grub to feed her chicks. He admired this bit of nature happening before his eyes because it was the first time he'd seen nurturing like this in real life. The nest seemed small, but secure in the branches over the pond, maybe about 35 feet from the bank's edge. As the mother hopped out of the nest onto the branch, the chirping from the babies grew quiet. Suddenly, the second and third bird get up from the nest, and one stumbles and falls into the water below. The mother reacts to what's happened, but there's nothing she can do. The baby bird flaps frantically, chirps for help. The ripples from the water push outward from the infant bird, and the bird frails and flops in an attempt to keep from drowning. The water is overwhelming and murderous. What life is left in the bird is struggling to remain alive and free. The boy is in shock. He can't move, paralyzed from what he is witnessing. He can't take his eyes away from the tragedy that is playing out. His eyes see the panic, splashes, and fight the baby bird has within. The chirps are daunting and hard to bear, but the boy's eyes are glued to the unfolding event. The only thing active in the boy is his mind. Questioning the situation is all his mind can muster. At such a time like this, his hero instinct should have kicked in, but he is utterly in fear, and yet he doesn't realize it. His muscles tighten, even his throat. Sweat pours from his forehead, and he continues to watch the fragile thread between life and death abruptly cut. He is horrified from head to toe, completely overtaken by the distance between him and the suffocating baby bird. The water is no deeper than 3 or 4 feet, and the baby bird is chirping desperately for help, almost to him to save it, because the boy knows he has power, strength, and moral fiber to do so, but lacks the courage. So he stood by, watched the baby bird's flaps wane from the exhaustion, and then it died. The boy walked away ashamed and looked back saddened, not only at what the day had done, but his own cowardice as well. The baby bird wasn't the only one that drowned that day. There were 2 spirits of life that drowned. One was the baby chick, and the other was the hero that lived within the boy. Well, there you have it. This is the story I created. One of a boy, a bird, nature, and adventure, all wrapped in one package, hopefully to give you some kind of moral to take away from this. And seeing as hopefully you did, please comment it below. You can like and share this video, or you can subscribe as a continued viewer of my future content, because I will be putting out more things that should be greater than this to come. And I just wanted to say peace. Appreciate you.